This is your first. Stop it, Jack.
I was like,
Santa Claus. What do you want for Christmas? What do you want? You can tell him what you want. You want a new bike?
Like, have some not sticky feet.
Yeah, no joke.
Some soap. It's not for
Some Gold Bond?
Santa? Say Santa?
I can't wait to stand. Look, you see Santa? You see it? You see Santa?
Hey, tell him what you want, Mike. Tell him what you want. Whisper what you want. Tell him what you want. You said it was a secret, remember? Really? Say bye, Santa. Bye, Santa.
Lakeland, where are we going?
I'm going to see our elf
You want to see our
on the
elf?
shelf.
Oh. Where is he?
Up there.
Up where? I don't see him.
Up there.
Oh! There he is. Goofing around in the chandelier. Silly elf. What's his name?
Percy.
Percy. You see the elf up there?
Huh?
You see him, Violet?
Huh?
You see the elf?
See the elf? Hello, my car. Oh my God. Let her breathe. Hey, what? You can play with her down the barn as the you do. Okay? Give me big huggies. And then her huggies. You want to hold her again? Okay. Here, this is how you pet her on the back. You do that. Put this like this.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye.
Give me a kiss.
You know, I feel like everything you hear about a third child, it's true. Like she does everything on her own, which is so sad, but she wants something to eat. She goes and gets a ball and brings it to you and points to what she wants. You know, she's so smart. Not that Trice is not smart, but she's just so quick. And I think them being so close in age too, because they're only 10 months apart, she wants to do everything he's doing and what Lakeland's doing, and she doesn't miss anything.
1 kid to 2 kids is hard, and especially, you know, with what I do and how, you know, there's really no days off, and it's hard sometimes for Hill to understand that. And we always decide to have kids right around the time I'm competing. So we had Trice, we had Lakeland during the games, Trice right before regionals, and then fast forward to February, 10 months later, Trice is 10 months old. And we're already, you know, we're starting to figure this thing out, the 2-kid thing. It takes a while once you have, I mean, you know, once you have an extra kid thrown into the mix, like things are a little haywire for a little while. Like
I was doing dishes and my phone rang, and she left a voicemail, and it was just, "Hey Hillary, it's me, can you call me back?"
Who is she?
Lakeland's birth mom. Called her back and I was like, "Hey, you know, how are you?" And not what I thought she was gonna say. And she said, "Hey, I've had another baby and I can't keep her." And my mouth just pretty much hit the floor. Like, I'll be transparent, like I was initially just scared. Like I didn't think that I could do it. Like I didn't think that I could do 3 and 2 so close. And financially, like Trice's adoption was really expensive, and so I got off the phone with her and squalled like a baby, and Rich was like, "What is wrong with you?" He was like, "Did you tell her that we're on our way?"
I was like, I mean, we have to, right? Like, Hillary's like, "Okay, I mean, you got a 10-month-old, like," I'm like, "All right, that's fine." So we start doing the whole process and going through it, and then doubt starts to creep into my head. I'm like, "Can we do this? What are we doing here?" And Hillary's like, "We're doing this." And so I'm like, "All right, we're doing this."
And I called her social worker, who's like, she's just a blessing. She's always so amazing. And I called her, and of course she laughed at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking." And she goes, "Well, let me check." She called me back, and our home study was only good for 2 more weeks. And Violet was born a week early. Another God thing. And so called her back, and she was like, "Okay." And, you know, I just could hear such a relief in her voice and my voice, and I couldn't wait, you know, to get there. And it was literally like seeing Lakeland. Like, she looked just like her, but with hair. Lakeland was bald till she was 2.
There may be days where I'm like, man, this is hard, but I will never regret having that little girl, where I would regret if we didn't have her. Like, she completes this family. She's the best.
She's like a missing piece that I didn't know we were like still waiting on, and she's just...
Can't even imagine it not happening, huh?
No.
We call her the silent assassin. You know, she's kind of just there, and then all of a sudden she's, you know, juggling knives or whatever she's doing. So.
She kills you with that smile.
Oh yeah, she does. She got me wrapped. I mean, both the girls have me wrapped. I'll admit, I'm a little harder on Trice. He's a boy. Just the way it is, you know. Like, I just those 2 little girls. I mean, I love Trice more than anything, but those 2 little girls for some reason can get away with a little bit more, and it's just the way it is. Sorry, Trice.
How scary is this? It's the creepiest place ever. It is so scary down here. It's like the Home Alone. You know, the Home Alone basement? That's what it reminds me of. But I'm not joking. If something jumps out of this stuff, like, you better run or I'm gonna blow you down. And I swore, I told my sister, I carried, oh gosh, my watch vibrating. It's unbelievable. Okay, watch your step.
You have it?
If I fall,
I'll catch
you
you.
better quit, no, you better turn that camera off.
I'll catch you, but I'm gonna keep going.
Oh gosh. Ugh. And now we're decorating for Christmas so that people this weekend can, they are CrossFitters actually. They've been here a couple of times, so we wanted it to be like extra sweet for them. But my sister better get over here and help me because I did not sign up for this. Where is she? This is my sister and I's Airbnb. We've had it for 2 years now, I think. So we inherited some rental properties, and then this is connected to them. And so 2 brothers had come to Mayhem that knew my dad and my grandpa, and they grew up in this house. And so they were going to sell it and came by and asked if we were interested in buying it because they didn't want to see it turned into apartments. And we were like, oh gosh, like we were not looking for more rental property, and we were like, well, we can just kind of see if, you know, try the Airbnb thing and see how it goes. And honestly, it's been a blessing. Like, we've met some amazing people, and it's been fun to, like, people from all over have stayed here. And we keep this book right here, people who've come and stayed, and they've been like from like Hawaii, and for what they come for, like, we've only had a few CrossFitters. Mostly it's for weddings and people dropping their kids from college, and like Australia. It's crazy coming to Cookeville. So it's a sweet little house, and yeah, I love it. It's all Allie's. The whole shop's Allie's. It's her degree, her idea, all her thing. She's a merchandise and design major. I'm technically probably just an employee. I'm a manager. Let's give myself a little credit here. Yeah, she's a merchandise and design major, and same thing as our properties, we inherited this one, and she was like, hey, I'd really like to use my degree and open a store. And I was like, hey, I'm always behind you, like whatever you want to do, like you want to open a store, let's do it. And she's like, I think I want to do a boutique. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds so fun. It's just women's clothing, but we also do, like, it's just small to large. We also carry plus sizes. We do jewelry. Most of our jewelry is from a local guy makes it. I went to college with him. We just like to find local people that make things and carry their stuff. We have a really close family friend she's like our sister, who she's an artist. We sell her paintings and drawings here. Yeah, just a women's clothing store.
You know, when Europeans started coming over here, there was anywhere from, they'd say, 30 to 60 million bison. And through Industrial Revolution and just, you know, us trying to combat Native Americans, and the Native Americans relied so heavily on bison, and then also the introduction of, you know, domestic cattle, the disease that was brought over from Europe. The bison couldn't handle, and so basically decimated them into 1,000, like under 1,000. And so some really cool, like, conservationists, some cattle ranchers, some families. Theodore Roosevelt decided to save the bison, and that's where we're at today. There's only, a couple 100,000, and most of them are, raised for agriculture, but there still are some pockets of wild bison, but they're a survivor, man, and it's a pretty cool animal. And I mean, look at these things. They just look awesome. I grew up, I would never say we had a functional farm by any means. We had a couple horses for a little while. We lived on some acreage, 10 acres. There were always chores to do. So, we had some apple trees, cut some hay, bale some hay for neighbors and stuff like that. But there was always chores to do. My parents were always big on, hey, there's gonna be something to do. And if you don't find yourself something to do, I'm gonna find something to do for you. When we bought this land, there's a lot of acreage here, and I don't want it just to sit here and not do anything. So in the beginning, we thought, at least we'll cut some hay and maybe eventually get some cattle, and I want some chores for the kids to have to do, and something that, we have to do together, I guess, because that was kind of, I hated the chores growing up, but looking back now, it was a lot of family time. Like, my parents were never, they wouldn't ask us to do anything that they wouldn't be out there doing with us. And so I want my kids to have that too. I want to, they have the opportunity to be spoiled and be, for the impolitically correct term, a brat. And I don't want that. I want them to have something that they have to take care of. And like I said, in the beginning, we kind of were like, let's get a couple cattle and throw them out here and, maybe harvest them, another politically correct term, when the time's right, and have some meat in the fridge. But then more and more we started looking into it. My best friend growing up, Matt Billings, lives up close to us, and we were talking one day about, let's go in on it together and do something. And then the more and more we started researching, we're like, man, a lot of people have cattle, not a ton of people have bison. And at first it was just kind of speaking of the devil, it was just kind of one of those things that we're like, oh yeah, it'd be pretty cool. But then we started researching bison, and man, it's a cool animal, just the history of them. And these are just cows, like these are females. The bulls are like 2 or 3 times this size. I can't wait to get a bull out here. The game plan is to grow the herd, and obviously we'll have some bison here and have some bison meat, and we're working on some bison jerky and some bison sticks as well. And that's the game plan right now. Froning Farms is it's kind of an open end right now. We always start on the smaller end and kind of grow into things. That's what we've done with the gym. That's what we've done with some other things. And yeah, right now it's what it is, and who knows what it'll morph into as we get going. And the less I compete and I'm not relying so much on working out, who knows what it'll turn into. So I'm looking forward to it. It's like I said, the more and more we've done it, and the more and more you get to wake up and see these things looking out the front glass, it's pretty special. Like, just kind of takes you back to, I don't know, what it used to be like maybe around here. So it's pretty cool. They're really cool animals. And you can still work, but it won't rely so heavily on my physical performance. Might be nice.
All those years of training to be a farmer.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, functional fitness, right?